Right, on your hop. Oh! He has some attachment issues. Now come on, pick it. Pick it. No, they're not going to bully you. Now come on. Pick it. All right. That is exactly why they accuse me of favoritism.
Well, Grandma, what did you think of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? Which, again, goes onto the list of long-titled movies that we've been having this year. Seems like a lot of them. Which, again, is written by that J.K. Rowling, who wrote all the Harry Potter books. Is set in that wizarding world, but again, this takes place in the 1920s, way before Harry Potter's time. But again, is in that same world, that magical world, and is about a character comes from England, played by Redmayne, who has a little suitcase full of magical beasts,
fantastic creatures.
Yes, and some of them escape and unfortunately cause all sorts of problems in New York City. And much of the movie is spent trying to recapture them. But again, he also gets involved in the
magical world there.
The magical world in America,
right,
which he finds is similar but not exactly the same as in England, and again, he causes all sorts of problems, solves some problems, at least tries to. What did you think?
I thought it was fantastic. That was wonderful. And seeing it in 3D, I thought was a good choice. We had the choice of not or yes. And for this particular movie, I thought it was a good choice, yes.
I thought it was all right, but it wasn't fantastic.
It wasn't.
No, I mean it was all right, but again, I don't think it was. I would have to compare it to the plain one, the non-3D one, to see if it really made that much difference. But it was
well, I enjoyed it.
Okay, so what did you think of the movie, the story, all that stuff?
It was very, very imaginative. I've read all of the Harry Potter novels and I've seen all the movies, and it made a lot of sense to me because the magical world and the non-magical world is quite clear to those of us who are Harry Potter fans. In England, you call the non-magical people muggles, and here in New York City, they were called the non-mage, which wasn't as imaginative.
Now again, while it was a bit of a theme in the Harry Potter movies, it was not as big a deal as it is in this movie. It's much more of the focus
in this story. The coexistence of the magical people and the non-magical people is essential. It's the core of the story, and the problems that might cause were the magical people's existence to be exposed.
Because they're sort of hidden and underground. And
they look like everybody else,
right,
unless they use their magical powers, which they do among themselves. I was fascinated by the whole thing. I was intrigued by the world of fantastic creatures that you entered if you go through his little case where he has all of them in there. He took us on a little tour at one point in the story, and we met some fantastic creatures, which shows you how imaginative the author J.K. Rowling is, because there doesn't seem to be any limit to her imagination. She's very, very good at creating fantastic creatures. I think the special effects people should get an extra award for this one. I mean, what a challenge it was to produce all of the magical things that happened there, and it was very, very interesting, and I enjoyed it very much. What did you think?
Well, I enjoyed it. I think that the first half or so of it, they spent a lot of time again setting up the magical beasts and everything, and then the last half or so was again them getting involved in the story.
Well, they can't assume that everyone who comes to this movie, knows all about.
Well, that's true.
The Harry Potter world and all
That's
that. I
true.
mean, they have to set the scene as you would for any movie, and that was fine with me. But as
my problem was mainly with the back part of the movie, though. I thought as it starting that I sort of understood this sort of situation that he had fallen into in New York and what was going on. But as it got further on towards the climax, I was a bit confused as to, again, the motivations of different characters, what they were trying to achieve, and where they were going towards the end. It was just a lot of noise and special effects and such, and again, it wasn't that clear to me exactly what anybody was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was still sort of interesting, but again, I didn't like that part of it as much as I liked the first part of it.
Well, it was a complicated story, and who the good guys were among the human people and who the good guys were among the magical people, you weren't quite sure from time to time. Is this a good, or is this a bad guy? What is happening here? I agree with you. You had to be very tuned in to what was happening.
But again, there was so much stuff going on at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and again, you just didn't quite weren't able to really follow it that well. Again, I thought again overall it was again certainly worth seeing. It's very interesting, and again I think it compares well to any of the Harry Potter movies. It's completely different in terms of the characters and the setting and all of that stuff, but that sort of magical world again I think it continues that quite nicely, and again I would recommend it. What would you think?
Oh, absolutely! It's a two thumbs up movie. Even if you're only aware of the fact that Harry Potter is a popular young person's book series, I wouldn't call it a children's book series. It's aimed at young people.
Mm-hmm.
And people who have imaginations like me. She's a very good writer, and the books were well written and easy read, and this was part of that whole genre, and it was very, very good.
And you recommend it?
I do. 2 thumbs up. Go see this movie. It's very, very interesting.
Okay. Well, good. Sounds good.